Hey everybody, this is Perch. I'm not making new videos very regularly. It's about once every 2 weeks or so, maybe more frequently than that, but not very often. I have this backlog that's when I first put it up, it's taken me through October, end of October. I think now we're close to Thanksgiving, just because I made a handful of videos, did those solicitation videos, put up some interviews. So my thought here is that I'm going to keep that going with a lot of old videos. Most of the content, yeah, it's definitely not getting as big a hit traffic for sure. But on the other hand, it's daily content, which is kind of what I had committed to as long as the channel is going to be open. And if I just don't feel it anymore, then the channel will come to its natural end. Then at least all the content will be out. I'll feel like I haven't wasted anything. But best case scenario, it then frees me up to do some different things. So I do some sales videos again. I do interviews, which you've been seeing. And so that's kind of my thought is, if I'm recording one thing a week, but it's an interview, then you put that in some good content and this thing goes to the end of the year at least. And, maybe that's a good trade. I don't know. And then after that, I have a reckoning of make more videos or just say, you know what, let's call it a day. It's been a fun run. Or, you get a video once every couple of weeks and it's an interview or something like that. I've been told this sounds weird. I'm talking something nice about myself. I've been told that my interviews are good. I don't know exactly why. I don't know what you're seeing there. I've also been told I have a distinctive voice, which I don't think at all. But I'm in my own head, so what do I know? But anyway, hopefully, if you're liking the interviews, great. When I approach the interviews, by the way, and if you interview people, I try and avoid the obvious thing. And I think when I listen to other interviews, it's like, so tell me how exciting it is to work on the comic you're working on right now. I try and ease in the way. So what is your angle? What do you like? I try and come at a different direction, or I try and avoid questions like, if you could, okay, so you get your dream character, which character are you going to write? Things that the creator has been asked a billion times. And there's moments in my interviews where I'll ask something, the creator will be like, and there'll be a pause. There's always a little bit of a breathless moment of, all right, do they think that was the dumbest thing they ever heard? Or are they thinking? And then quite often the creator will go, oh, that's a good question. I'm going to ask that before. And that's what I hope for. I hope for something new. There's no sense in just creating a bunch of stuff that's already been created, at least for me. So, but this is a relatively newer video because I had a brief stopover at the Dallas Fan Expo. Couple takeaways there. First off, good on it for establishing air conditioning this year, which was not the case last year. Last year it was a freaking sauna in this place. Hey, there's nothing cooler than really tight aisles, because this is one problem the Dallas Fan Expo continues to have is the aisles are way too thin for the amount of people they shove through this thing. It's Dallas. This is a highly populated area. And, turns out there are a lot of people here, and a lot of the people here do like manga and like comics and everything else. And so it's a high traffic event. A lot of people show up. And so, you then slam in, way too many people, and you don't have the air conditioning working, and it's Texas. There's a certain amount of okay, you're just dumb. So that's, anyways, on this year, that was good. And there's one, and oh, by the way, I was, kind of walking, I spoke, I'd speak to a creator. I'd say something like, yeah, hey, how's it there? Table going okay, and everything else. And people were like, holy shit, that's Perch. And they were recognizing from my voice. And that was a little alarming, I guess, but it was a lot. Well, we'll cut to the chase. People were very complimentary. And so for all the people I met there, thank you very much. Very nice to meet you. I'm glad, it's like, you're my commute, and comments of it was very good. Zero questions about the culture war. Just like, hey, you like comics, hey, I like comics. And it was nice. So I did really appreciate that. I thought that was, it was great to meet several of you, and surprised, I guess is my word. Cause I don't think much of what I do here. I have fun. It's a conversation. I don't mean that dismissively. I'm talking with all you. And so to me, that's the joy of this. It's just a chance to chat some comics and, hopefully read some comments and just kind of get these ideas out there. And so I hear things like, oh man, you got me through some tough times, or you made the commute easier, or whatever, bigger or small. I don't know. It's humbling. It's extremely humbling. So I don't like talking about myself, but thank you for the people I've met. Thank you deeply. Very, very kind of you. Just really nice people. And I tried to make some connections to some people in return where I could. One gentleman gave me a comic book, which I'm going to read. And I really hope if he's listening to this, I'm hoping the title catches him. But please, send me an email. I'll get you on to talk about your comic and would love to do that. So but I need a way to connect with you, man. Anyway, I want to talk about, believe it or not, this isn't, I'm not killing time. This isn't not related to the rest of the video, which is, an unfortunate incident. So I'm talking with an artist, and I am, just kind of chatting, sorry, an artist, a writer. I'm talking with somebody. And as I'm talking to them, there's a little line, not a big one, but a small one. And they're getting some things done. Relatively cheerful. Up comes another creator. And the creator is I want to paint this picture for you. You got Artist Alley, which in this case was just a very long, bar of tables, bench of tables against the back wall. And this, they're kind of, this writer is sitting kind of in the middle of the whole thing, in the middle of the run. And he is, again, he's doing stuff. Got creators to either side of him. And up comes another creator from further down the aisle. And the other creator is standing on the fan side of the table, right? There wasn't much room. Behind the creators, there's a curtain. You could duck under that curtain and go to a little kind of green room type area, small little hallway. But this person was on the fan side, and he goes, how's your table going, or how's you doing? And he's irritated. Like, you could tell by the body language he was annoyed. And in fairness, that's not a problem, because everybody was a little annoyed. I was a little annoyed. I'm also walking around. I just bought something for Klaus Janson, and I didn't want it bent, but there's nothing to put it in, so I'm like holding this thing like some jackass is going to bump into me and the whole thing is going to get crumpled up. So that's what I'm thinking. Anyway, and then the creator on the fan side goes, God, I can't wait for this day to be over. I can't stand being around these people. Now, note at this point, he's standing around those people. Like, he's literally standing there getting stuff signed. I think, I forget who was on the other side, or a couple down. Jerry Ordway was relatively close. I'm looking further down the aisle. I could see Kevin McGuire and Temple Smith, who was always somewhere else. I love Ben so much, and it was nice enough to get a drink with him a couple nights earlier, but he kept leaving his table. I'm like, damn it, Ben. But I also have by the way, a attitude of, like, if I'm going to come chat with somebody at the table, I want to buy something, because the other people are there to do business, and so I don't want to stand there and like hoard the line or draw the creator's attention away, like just chatting about stuff. I prefer to meet them at the hotel bar later or somewhere else and talk, and not not take away from their business. I don't know, it's a weird thing. I've always had that back when I would table and talk to other retailers. It's like, I talk to them before the proverbial bell sounds, and then you get to work, and you don't chit chat unless it's completely dead, because otherwise, consumers will come up and want to buy something, customers, and they if they see people talking, it creates a barrier. A lot of comic fans are introverts, and if they see a blockade to them, buying something or having a conversation, then they're just going to kind of sit passively, or they're not going to get up there and engage. So you need to don't make it more difficult for people. Anyway, So this guy's like, I can't stand it here for these people. And then goes, this is why I got to get back to writing for Hollywood. Because, because I didn't, you didn't have to deal with people like these. Again, he's standing in the midst of people who are looking at him like, the fuck are you? Because the other thing about comics is, with very rare exceptions, you don't recognize them. I mean, I'm sure if you're Joe Corallo, you recognize everybody, but you work with them and you've been to a lot of cons. But by and large, a lot of the fans there do not recognize the creators. I think there's a couple distinctive ones. Obviously, people have seen a million photos of Jim Lee, so you recognize him. I think Chris Claremont has been drawn on things so much. I think Art Adams is like, but once you've seen him once, you will remember him forever. There's a lot of, and hell, the man himself, Ben Templesmith, first of all, one of the sharpest dressed creators ever sitting there. But anyway, once you get to know these people, you recognize them. But by and large, creators, they're not like actors, so you don't necessarily recognize them. And so people are looking at it, but from his comments, the other fans in attendance and people standing around knew that this guy is clearly by his words is a creator of some kind, and it's basically saying, this sucks. All the people here suck. This is why I got to get back to Hollywood, so I don't have to deal with these people. And it's like, the purpose of this area of the con is to meet the fans and take their money. Or that's a more cynical way of it, maybe, to meet the fans. That it's a comic convention. And you're just, now granted, I'll say at this point, from what I could gather, some of the creators were having a good con, other creators were having a bad con. So I mentioned before, I bought something from Klaus Janson, and it was a really cool, I'll put a photo of it, of a Batman picture, and it looked great. It was the original piece of art. It wasn't a commission or anything, but it was a original piece of art. And somebody goes, as I'm paying for it, because the payment stuff was so screwed up. People just couldn't, like, if you're at certain parts of the card, your card was working well. If you're others, you had to walk away, and then it just was terrible. So Klaus goes, yeah, this is my first sale. Now this is 2 days into it, I think, 2 or 3 days into it. I shouldn't be this guy's first sale. And he had great stuff in there. I mean, expensive stuff, but great stuff. And so that was just like, ugh. So I think, and this was repeated by a couple others. So people were having a bad show for sure. And then other people seem to be selling art like crazy. So I don't know what was happening and where. But by the way, if I'm running a con, and maybe this is a video for another time, but there's so many ways that you could make your con look super cool with Artist Alley. Give it more space, give the fans a little bit more space to stand, and then get one of those, this basically light projector. And what this is it's like a triangle. So you draw on a form, on a little area, a little platform, and then it can project up onto the wall. And it's they're cheap. You can go on Amazon. You can get these things with high lumen, so they would work in a brightly lit con. You get them for, I don't know, $40. And if you just had those available for a lot of the creators, and I mean, like, you could afford it. With the amount of money you're raking in, afford it. You don't have to buy one for every person, but you could also swap them out. You could do things. And if the creator is sitting there doing a drawing or doing a commission and just able to kind of draw and it's projected bigger behind them, I mean, fuck, that would look amazing. It would draw attention like crazy, and people would sell out. Like, I don't know. I saw one, so I was trying to problem solve this whole thing, and I'm like, yeah, but then you need power strips and everything there. Except several of them are just USB-C charged. So you wouldn't get that much time out of it. You may get like 2 hours out of it, but man, that would draw attention like crazy, and then you could just kind of charge things up. Anyway, point being, the convention, it was a good convention. It was great to meet people. Like I said, it was, I was just barely there because again, back's killing me, which is a very old man thing to say, but there you go. So was in a decent amount of pain the entire time. And by decent, I mean a fucking lot. But anyway, it just like this is, I've talked about unforced error, shooting yourself in the foot. This was that. It's just like, you don't have to make loud comments in the middle of a bunch of people paying money. And it just hating on the show itself. Like what in the hell? You don't have to sit there and suck up to fans either. And quite frankly, not many creators do. A lot of them are tired. They've been sitting in this auditorium. It's sensory overload. It's hot in a lot of cases. I don't expect creators to be like, "Hey there, how are you, pleasant fan? Come on over here. I love you to death." Who was Philip Kennedy Johnson was there. And fuck, it's when I got there, it was in the afternoon, and Johnson is like I don't know if they like had 8 cups of coffee or just he wasn't jittery. That's unfair to say, but he was like, "Hey, how are you doing? Hey, glad to see you. Thank you for checking out the book." Just like super cheerful, and it was wonderful to see. I mean, it was great, but I don't expect that. I don't think many people expect that you have to be on like that, but you also definitely don't want the opposite. Somebody who's like, fuck this place. Like that, it just does such harm to your reputation, to people around you, to fans who are there for an experience. And keep in mind, a lot of these people are coming to the show. They're normies. They're not vetted in social media gossip or anything. They're just there to have a good time and meet some people and kind of be starstruck. Especially that last one. They want to be starstruck. And so they're like, fuck all these people. Like, ugh. I don't know. It was like one of those moments, and I'm like, ooh, wincing. And, the guy he was talking to, the other creator, is like, ugh. And I see him nervously look at his fans, and he's like, that's not how I feel. Like, there's some humor to it, but anyway. It was a good show. It was good to meet some people. A lot of really nice people there. The people I did get to see. The absolutely excellent Sean Murphy was there doing some good business, and it's funny. You have some comic creators who are good as gold, who again, they're not sucking the fans' ass. They're just good, solid people, and they want to do business and they want to do good work and they care about what they do, and it shows. And they're people you want to be around, that you want to talk to, you want to introduce your friends with. All different personalities. I spent some time with Kevin McGuire, which I haven't spent as much time with him in the past, and a completely different personality from a Sean Murphy or from a Ben Templesmith or from a Philip Kennedy Johnson. Completely different people. All those people are different from each other, but all very pleasant to be around. All very like people you want to know, people you want to to see, want to talk to, want to learn from. And there's plenty more besides that. So it's that's ultimately, it's a good thing to go to a con. And I guess my wish for the curator who was disgruntled there at all the smelly fans that were in his way, I hope you do get back into Hollywood. Go do that. Just go somewhere else. They need you over there. Where you're not needed, comics. Thanks for listening.